What's up, everybody, and welcome to Nintendo Video Chat. This week we are playing a true classic and my personal favorite DuckTales game ever, DuckTales for the NES by Capcom, 1989. So, before we get into talking about DuckTales, I want to mention that we're going to be getting some cool news later in the cast, including the press event coming in September. September what, Audrey?
September 13th.
And we think it's going to be maybe a bunch of Wii U news.
Yeah, it's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on September 13th, so hopefully they have a lot to tell us about Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
I hate this stupid vulture lady.
God damn. But at the top of the hour...
What's your language, Brian?
For this podcast, top news is the closing of Nintendo Power.
Oh.
And
sadness.
It's very sad. It's been 24 years since they opened their doors, and the reason we're playing DuckTales today is because of Nintendo Power's amazing claymation cover of DuckTales.
Which you're not seeing right now. It's a shame.
Yeah, it's too bad, but you're seeing DuckTales. So there
Seriously,
was
though, if you don't know what this game is, if you haven't played it, it's totally worth
It's
playing.
true
We're not
classic.
just
it's
messing
awesome.
with you.
Even
Like,
if you
this is one of the
Scrooge
best.
McDuck, that's all you need to know.
It's like such an awesome old school game.
whenever I play it, it's my favorite NES game.
Yeah,
It's one of the weirdest platforming games because if you jump on things in this game, you die. So you have to jump on them by holding down the whole time, sort of like the down thrust in Zelda 2, with Scrooge McDuck's old man cane, which totally makes sense.
So who you just heard talking is the person actually playing the game. That's Brian Altano. And with us also we have Audrey Drake, Fran Mirabella, and
Hey, guys.
new voice to you maybe, Mike Drucker.
Hey!
So when the call went out to play DuckTales, nobody refused.
No, we had to
because why would
turn
you?
people away.
We were trying to figure out, what should we play this week, and based on all your feedback, we just ignored every last bit of it and decided on DuckTales. But that was, we just wanted to do. I mean, I'm joking.
Blame
IGN.
Fran.
Don't pull back the curtain that much.
Do you know what? We actually chose this because I wanted to play Bionic Commando, and Fran said he's terrible at it.
I said that too.
No,
I hate
Brian
don't you
did
dare.
too. Brian did too.
What I said was that, let's not get off track. That game is a pain unless you kind of practice up on it first, and I didn't want to look like a fool.
You just didn't want to have Nazis on IGN.
So anyway,
Brian can't beat this level, and we're having the same issue right
doesn't
now.
matter.
Shut
this
up.
game's awesome to watch.
Yeah, so it is very sad news. I think this was the first magazine I
God
definitely had a subscription to, Nintendo Power. I was wondering who else here subscribed from the start, if
I
anybody.
did.
Oh, I
Did
did.
you?
I've subscribed.
I might have picked up the first issue, like, on back issue.
I definitely
'cause
didn't
Fran
learn
had
any cheats or tricks on how to get through this level from Nintendo Power.
Yeah, I didn't subscribe from the start because I was 1, but
it. Really? In
pretty
1989?
soon, yeah.
Awesome.
Well, 88 is when it
88.
We're
launched.
gonna-
Oh, yeah, 88 ones.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. 24 years. That's right. It launched with the August-September issue in 1988. And that was July, August, and that was Super Mario Brothers 2. It was an awesome claymation cover.
It's one of my favorites.
Everybody I know
Really
seemed to
cool.
have it at the time. Like it went around everybody, and I think that's
God
because
damn it.
people that
This stupid bird lady keeps beating me. I'm going to the moon.
there was a precursor to Nintendo Power, which I never had, called Nintendo Fun Club.
No one's gonna
Mike,
get
did
that
you have that
one.
I
one?
never had that. No.
Okay, I didn't even see it, but the people that got that issue,
No,
like,
that
got
magazine was
canceled.
in the movie Newsies. That's how old it is.
Whoa,
It was,
you're the first person to reference that movie in
You
so
just
long.
referenced the Newsies. That's how old you are.
He just said to the moon. Come on.
All right, we're all being old and stupid.
Get on the trolley, Fran. So, I
Every
remember
time, no matter what, her stupid lightning.
Stop complaining about DuckTales. We're trying to reminisce on Nintendo Power. It's
Well, I don't know what
closed
kind of
its
show this
doors.
is. You guys get to talk about Nintendo Power. I have to get beat up by this vulture lady.
You know what's cool? I can actually mute Brian.
Oh my god.
I can mute him at any time. So
So anyway, I wanted to go into maybe some
July,
of our,
August 1988.
Yes,
That was the
that was the very first issue.
one.
So it's like pretty. That was
Mario's
almost
never
to the,
looked
to
better,
the
by
month.
the way, in that clay.
I know he's cute.
That's such a weird cover with
The-
him.
In the first like
It's
8 or
trippy.
10 issues were all claymation covers, right? And that's what is so iconic
like
for
a
me.
thing.
There's also like art and stuff that's iconic in Nintendo Power, like Howard and Esther, the comic book strip in there, and kind of like just the little doodles they did in there. And Brian's done a parody of these. They are just like horrible. Like the production is horrible. It's so bad.
On the covers?
Yeah, no. Well, not the covers
was
are
like,
amazing.
what?
No, just with page to page.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
like layout and stuff, and the screenshots are like really muddy and faded. But man, it was just essential.
I loved it when they used to host the fan art that you'd send it in on the back of
And-
the envelope,
Oh,
and they'd
I love
never
that.
print it. Never
And
did.
We should note too that Nintendo Power it closed shop just the other day, but that was at Future, who publishes official Xbox Mag and some other stuff. Nintendo like a couple years
Yeah,
ago.
they no
I
longer
think
publish it.
2007 they gave up publication.
It was how many years ago? Wow.
2007,
So
yeah.
it's almost-
Fran, did I ever tell you about the fan art I sent to Nintendo Power?
No.
Do you want to hear about it?
Tell us,
Let's-
Brian.
Yeah,
Wait,
absolutely.
Alright, you might as well tell us.
It was Luigi having sex with the princess.
Which one? Which princess?
the princess.
Daisy?
Princess Peach.
Not his
Or
princess.
Ooh, scandal.
You did it, buddy.
And you actually thought they would publish that, or are you
Yeah,
just
I was
being a jerk?
I was also 25.
All right, so that was like last year, Brian, or something.
So there might be some case to be made for Nintendo Power carrying on as like a tablet issue or something like that. I don't know, but they have specifically said so far there's no plans for that.
Their last
so.
issue is going to be this December. Apparently, they have something cool planned, so
Yeah.
you should pick it up in honor of their
my
really
point
great
was,
legacy.
I hope they'll have a DuckTales cover.
I hope so. That'd be
What's
great.
pretty interesting
Claymation.
about it, though, Nintendo itself published this magazine, and I believe it was all up in Redmond, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The editor originally was Howard Lincoln,
Yeah.
which was like what kind of a
Look it
higher
up.
up at Nintendo, and
He still owns the Mariners now, right? Is that right?
He's
Or
still like
co-owner?
on the board.
The
of
board,
Mariners.
okay.
Nintendo owns the Mariners.
Yeah.
So
I
we
think
should mention
Arakawa is still-
at this point that Mike Drucker is a previous employee of Nintendo of
No,
America.
I don't know if we should mention that.
I was a localization writer.
Yeah.
I did jokes
fine.
on
We've talked
Kid
about it
Icarus
on podcast before.
Uprising
Okay.
and a few other games.
It's actually really awesome because I noticed that there was a change in the writing, and I would chuckle and be like, "Oh, that's more relevant." And I think that was a lot of Mike Drucker.
But that's the one thing noting about Nintendo Power is a lot of people that made up the Nintendo Power of our youth now work at Nintendo still. People like Leslie Swan and Nate Bildorf,
Yep.
who does a lot of the stuff on the Paper Mario games.
Nate's awesome.
They're all great people. They're all really, really awesome writers. So it's not like the spirit of Nintendo Power is dead. Like, they're now making Nintendo games, so they're living the dream.
I think that's really cool, and I think that there was some low periods in Nintendo Power, right? Like I think it even missed some issues at one point.
It might have. That I don't know, but it's
Yeah.
very possible.
You make it sound like it's a VH1 behind the music about some drug addict. Then it
Then
got
it went
dark.
through
She couldn't
dark
see her parents for
times.
Christmas.
Got
Nintendo
wrapped
Power
up
got
in
pulled over
drugs
for a
and fame.
DUI. It had a missed December's issue.
And then it had the
So we got to
miscarriage.
do it. What was the issue that you guys let your subscription expire on?
I've still got it going.
Nice.
I started it again when I
Installed
I
got
it.
never
my
had a
card.
subscription. I would just buy it ad hoc. But I just, my parents wouldn't give me subscriptions to video game magazines. So
I think.
Well, they used to send really cool things when you'd resubscribe, and then they stopped doing that. But
Did anybody
nah,
here make it into
still suck.
Virtual Boy era from
I
the
did.
start?
I did. I
I did
bought
too.
a Virtual Boy because of Nintendo Power.
Me too.
I did too,
Wow.
and I want my money back.
Yeah, I think it was right 64 period when I was like I got burned on the Virtual Boy and I got a little mad at Nintendo and I don't think I continued at that point.
I played that Wario game a lot, but that's it. That's all I
Wario?
played.
The
There's a
Wario
Wario
Virtual
game.
Boy?
Wario?
Wario Land.
Wario.
Wario. Wow,
Yeah.
we've discovered something.
The
Oh God.
More on
Galactic
that later.
Pinball's really good. Galactic Pinball's a fun
Is
game.
that a good game? Yeah, I
Nestor,
never
Nestor's
played it.
Funky
What
Bowling is great too.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It has it has Nestor from Howard and Nestor, the Nintendo Power
The
comic book.
only game he made it into, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's a hard Wikipedia fact right there.
But yeah, let's face it. I think we're all sad nostalgically, but how many of us have been reading Nintendo Power?
Well, I
all
check
the
in
time?
sometimes, and I know it's part
Yeah.
of Audrey's job to kind of keep up on
Oh,
Nintendo
yeah.
news
Yeah,
and
but it's
stuff.
true.
So.
Sometimes they'd have breaking news in there. I really liked the Power profiles they did, though. They'd interview some really cool people from
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Mr. T.
Yeah, I mean,
Fred Savage.
I'd
That's
say
really cool, though.
Everybody
Cool
out there.
insight.
Or is that a different old interview segment where they'd have a New Kids on the Block member?
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or
I'd love to
the
know
girl
from-
from Roseanne.
But it's cool because, unlike most interviews, where we do, where they're centered around a game that's coming out or something like that, they were just talking with them, shooting the breeze about their legacy or the games they worked on or working at Nintendo. It was really cool. I think that was someone's memory in our memories piece that we published the other day.
All right, guys. Favorite sections of Nintendo Power. Go.
I loved the fan art.
Yeah,
The section
your
that
favorite.
That was
explained
cool.
why Launchpad brings his plane just to fly 5 feet over here. I like that part.
Oh, the pictures of the pro gamers, like the gamer guide pictures,
Yeah,
were always
yeah,
just
it's
like
Counselor's
the
Corner.
worst. Counselor's Corner. Those were the worst.
And their hobbies.
At Nintendo, a bunch of us started using those as our Twitter pictures for like 2 months before we were told to stop.
Yeah, for me, it was usually when they just did bigger exclusive stuff, like fold outs, like with the Super Metroid issue. Actually, the map that you could fold out, I believe. Yeah, I think you could fold out the map. There's actually a photo of me you can find on IGN of posing. It looks like I'm looking at a
Wait,
Samus
Super Metroid
centerfold.
had the entire game map in it, or was it just parts of it?
I
mean, I remember the
we have
cover.
that issue here. I'll have to
Yeah, the cover is like
it's
a
at my
really
desk.
kind of shiny Samus, with
Yeah,
her, with
it's a
her
really
arm
cool cover,
outraised.
but it actually is.
I'm sure there's the poster.
You know what? Maybe I wanted it to be the map, and it's actually a fold out of Samus, but I think I shouldn't talk about what I don't know. But it has a
Fold-out
really
of
sweet
Samus.
fold out in it. I swore it was the map. I'll double check it.
All right,
So-
Brian, favorite section of Nintendo Power.
Well, I liked the the Counselor's Corner part because people would write in with these questions, and I was always just like, this magazine comes out once a month. So somebody would write this question like, hey, I'm stuck in Kakariko Village. And they'd be sitting there for 4 months waiting for their post office to like...
I remember the answer to those questions and being like, that's a really good tip. When I rent that game someday, I'm going to remember it.
Yeah.
I always did. I remember there's like this Ninja Turtles one where it's like this kid can't jump over this part because the game is so shitty that it makes you like tap the jump button, instead of hold the jump button to like make a little short jump over this section. I just remember very specifically. My favorite section, though, obviously classified information. Those like yellow pages.
Oh, yeah.
It's like burned in
Good
my
call.
mind. Like
Good
I would
call.
get the issue, like just open it, like go to that page and just be like, oh,
Yeah.
what is it? Because man, codes mattered so much then.
Yeah.
I always like the blind and deaf kids that wrote in.
Yeah.
She's trucker.
No, it's true. There was this one guy that's like, I learned to beat Mr. Dream with my feet because I don't have arms. Like, whoa! I didn't even know you could do that.
That's real.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
No,
a real thing.
you're right. Just wow.
It is amazing. It was the way you said it, Brian.
Have you guys ever seen the crazy mouth-controlled Nintendo controller?
Yes, yeah.
It's
What is this
really
robot
cool.
duck
It's super
doing?
rare.
He's punching.
You
Oh, God.
you can't get past him. Don't even try.
By the way, I do that at my desk sometimes. I just, and yeah, actually, everybody out there, I think, watching, listening, leave comments and let us know, like, what are your fondest memories? But also, I'm kind of curious, like, were you an active reader? And if you're sort of upset that it's closing up, like, what did you want out of it? What were the best parts? Maybe we can pick up some of that.
And it just occurred to me, the most boring associated but very relevant game we could be playing right now would be Dragon Warrior.
They gave out the
yes.
free copy.
Yes, because in
Yeah.
the early 90s, they ran this long promotion where if you subscribed to Nintendo Power, you got Dragon Warrior.
so nice.
Yeah.
Which was,
that's so
for the kids
cool.
today,
Not how I
which
got mine.
I have to explain probably that's Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 1, because we've switched to Dragon Quest now.
Yeah, I always liked the name Dragon Warrior better. And
Me too, but now I'm kind of
Oh,
like...
what
I like
DQ
Dragon
Well,
Quest.
I think it was a Dungeons and Dragons licensing thing where Dragon Quest was a Dungeons and Dragons license in America for a long
Oh,
time.
really? That's interesting. I
Or it's
had
like
no idea.
like one of their side
something to
things.
do with like a conflict, and
Yeah.
that's why they did it. Huh.
Sort of like how Star Fox in Europe is something like space, like it's something entirely.
Space
Space
dog.
rodents.
Isn't it something different? It's like the Lilac. I think it's like the Lilac
Lilac
Wars.
Wars.
That's
Lilac
what it
Wars.
is,
Yeah.
Space dog. The hell
Galaxy.
is wrong with
Space
Hound.
dog.
Is that because they have Star Foxes
I
already?
think. Oh well, they don't like have that as a species, but I think that's like. I think
They're
that's
extinct.
By the
That's what
way,
you're saying.
I think we need to do that feature of like the game names that never made it through, like you know,
Yeah.
Like
Space Dog, or
Well,
variations
I
on
think,
that.
I
for
think
other
Japanese
games.
names are awesome, and I have DuckTales one right here.
What
you guys
is
ready
it,
for
Sam?
it?
Go for
Naughty
it.
Duck Stream Adventure.
That's
What?
what it's called.
That's what
Naughty
it's called in
Duck's
Japan.
Dream
I think
Adventure.
the whole DuckTales
Wow.
series is called Naughty Ducks. In
They just
Japan.
think
No
old
way.
men are naughty. Is that what they said?
What is so
Maybe
naughty
Maybe
about
I've
what's
seen
going
that.
on
Is it
here?
because he's
Well,
greedy?
Mappy is Naughty Folks in the game Mappy, so I don't really know what what this is
It
all
Wait,
probably
did-
has a different connotation than what we're giving it in our
I think it
heads.
means like rascals.
Yeah, like rascals.
It's like the little rascal.
Not like
ducks.
naughty, like he's naughty.
So
like
he's-
not gross.
Naughty Uncle Scrooge.
Well, when you say it like that.
Oh, when you say it
So
like
wait,
that.
that was the
God.
actual. They said it in like English though. It wasn't. You haven't
No,
translated.
it's translated, so it's
Oh.
that's an approximation.
So
of
with
what
the
it is.
actual words, you don't know what they were.
Yeah, but it's not like DuckTales. You know, like a lot
But
of
I
games.
was wondering
are-
if it was like Naughty Ducku, like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I saw.
Seriously.
I
That
saw the
deserves a
characters.
round
I
of
really like
applause.
that.
Yeah.
Multi-ducku.
Naughty Duck, man. They do that all the time over there.
They.
When they use English words like
Those
coffee.
These people.
Jeez, I got in trouble for talking about deaf kids. You got
word
so much worse.
Okay. You guys are, never mind.
So I have many more DuckTales facts like that, but I think we should throw it to Audrey now to talk a little bit about the September conference.
All
coming
right.
up, where we're going to hear everything about Wii U. We still don't know the release date.
Yeah.
We still don't know the
Yeah,
launch
this
titles.
will presumably be where
It'll
we
s-
find out release date, release price. It's a
Yes, what
similar.
have they officially said so far about this?
They've officially said that it's September 13th. It's in New York. It's going to be hosted by Reggie Fils-Aimé, Nintendo of America's president. It's an all-day event. It's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So,
Whoa.
yeah, so
What?
presumably we're going to, yeah.
No, but there's a reason for this.
Presumably
We've
we're
experienced
gonna,
this before.
yeah, we've experienced this before. It means we're gonna go hands-on with Wii U titles.
okay.
Hopefully, ones we haven't
So
seen
we're
before.
not going to have to like live stream 8 hours.
But
of
before
Nintendo.
we get what we think's there, officially, Reggie's hosting it. It's 10 to 4 Eastern time, presumably. or-
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
New York
What
time.
the?
What else?
And it will shed light on, quote, how the Wii U will change the future of gaming and entertainment. And that's all we
That's
know.
what we're all wondering.
That is all we know.
So yeah, meaning the backstory, right, is that when the 3DS was coming out in January, mid-January, I believe, of 2011, they had the Nintendo 3DS preview event.
In New York, it was a similar deal where they gave all the information. I think that's when they gave launch date and price for that system as well. Showed off some of the games.
They talked colors finally.
Exactly. It's just where they blow it out.
And
Just
there
a
were
couple
game
months before the
announcements
game
here.
releases.
In fact,
or
there
the
was
system.
there was game announcements. There was also first footage of stuff. Like there were games that we had known about on the 3DS that we couldn't talk about, and then finally
They
at the
finally
event,
officially
we
announced
could.
them. Finally let people play them.
So I think
should be a similar event.
We
I mean,
hope that.
we would think. I
You
mean,
know-
if they just want to show me that Nintendo Land footage again, I'm gonna stay at home.
Yeah, and I think that's going into it. There's a lot riding on it because we all know the press conference at E3 was not thrilling.
Yeah.
And
Well, I don't.
confusing.
Are they
you know?
going to have a press conference for this, or is it just
Well,
like
to be-
they
to
have
be-
an
hands-on for?
opening keynote.
I think they
believe.
will.
Yeah, to be clear, if we haven't made this is a press-only event. This
Yeah.
is not open to the
There's no
public.
live
So
conference.
only a
Spaceland-
select number of press invites were sent out.
Spaceland 2012 confirmed.
Yes,
Space World, you mean?
Space World, is
Space
that what it
World,
is?
yeah.
Space
The
World,
old
yeah.
Nintendo conference.
Did you ever
that
go
they
to
had
that?
in Japan. Yeah, I went to a couple of them.
Did you go, Mike?
No,
That's where
no, that was before my time.
That was
Yeah,
where
me
the
too.
Nintendo Dolphin was named the GameCube, and that was my first in August of 2000. That was my first.
So
big
that's
event.
what, yeah. So like, and that was right before. Well, they did one right before the GameCube came out, right? Like
Yeah, they
GameCube
did
came
two.
out
That was
in
the last
November,
one.
right
Yeah.
after that. Yeah. So
But that's totally different than this. That's a public event. They would have a press conference in Japan in August. Usually, they varied with Space World. But this is exclusively a press event that Nintendo America puts on. But it's a very heavy, news and preview event.
It is. This is sort of their last chance to finally get people clear on what the Wii U
Yeah.
is and what it has to offer, because their marketing so far has been terrible. Most people are either confused or interest is pretty low. I mean, not to say we still don't know what the Wii U can do, but that's kind
Yeah,
of their bad.
like, when you think about it,
they've got a lot to prove in September.
The specs were not finalized at E3. They didn't really talk about that. They
And
had.
to be fair, they said ahead of time they weren't going to
Yeah.
reveal the release date and price, but still, I mean, I think we were all expecting. I mean, no one expected to see Zelda or Star Fox or Smash Bros. There, but we expected like trailer or
Something.
concept art, some sort of announcement.
well, you don't think they'll do that at this? This is just going to be like, this is our Wii U
It's
launch,
likely
right?
just going to be launch info, but you never know. They
Yeah.
could have a couple surprises up
It's-
their sleeves.
Right.
Yeah, biggest pieces that we'll get out of it are, I think, the three top ones are the release date, the price, and actually color variation. I think that's probably the top three. I don't know.
I would imagine.
Maybe,
yeah.
and then also
I
like
hope color
packing.
is not a top 3.
You
That'd
don't
be
think-
horrible.
That's
I think
like
that-
always big
I
on
think-
people's minds.
What
right?
about
Like,
games?
Yeah, exactly. I think games
Bottom 20.
online,
Okay, you're right. That's top. That's number
online
one.
and interface like stuff is going to be.
I would.
something they
Well, with
gotta
the
show.
3DS, they didn't discuss online during their event. They didn't
'Cause it
discuss
didn't
online
exist.
until after the system had launched,
Have they?
honestly. So.
I think they're pushing that for Wii U. I think they're going to make like a big infrastructure for online for
Oh, I
Nintendo.
think you-
I mean, I
Nintendo
thought
size.
their
I don't
headline
know
game
about
wasn't
that.
going to be a minigame
Well, I
collection
read an
too,
interview
so
today in
I don't know.
Kotaku where Iwata was talking about their online plans is very interesting.
I really hope that's true.
There-
You guys,
The
I'm so
rumor-
bad at DuckTales.
The rumor too, Audrey, is that it
want
might
to
have
play.
been pushed back till December.
Yeah, I've heard that rumor too, because there are apparently manufacturing issues with the Wii U, which may push the international date back to December, like Sam said. They've promised earlier that it would have a global launch by the end of the year, but apparently they're having some troubles. So we don't know if that's true.
That's
just
rumored.
that's a
Yeah.
rumor, unsourced rumor. But
Get
And
out
we
the door
mentioned
by
this
Christmas.
the last podcast. We mentioned speculatively. I think November 18th.
we all expect November
potential
18th.
date.
We launched on November 19th,
A
I
Sunday
think.
before
GameCube
Thanksgiving.
launched on November 18th, I believe. So it would be in line with what they usually do. They like to get it
Yeah.
out right before the
Black Friday.
Yeah, Black
and all
Friday,
that.
Christmas rush. So
Yeah.
it makes sense.
So in theory, but yeah, like if there's actual manufacturing issues,
If they're really having
I don't know.
problems with that, then yeah, I mean, it could
But-
push it, but that would be really tragic for
My
sales,
guess-
I would think.
my guess though is you're not going to get a North American launch delayed till December. Like if they have manufacturing problems, like
Can you imagine?
they normally
like,
launch in Japan. You know, in
everybody's
December.
done shopping by
Yeah.
December. Like, I wonder what that's going to mean for like long lines or like I mean, it's just like
I don't think that's going to happen.
At most, I wonder if it just means there will be truly a limited supply,
Yeah.
rather than them sort of creating the illusion of unlimited supply.
Yeah,
that would
I-
be insane.
That would be interesting.
I can't
yeah.
even imagine.
companies do that, obviously.
And not just Nintendo,
But-
everyone does that. Like, their
Yeah.
Kinect is sold out because everyone's so excited about
Yeah.
Kinect.
I
but-
totally bought 3 Wiis when they came out and then sold 2 of them and paid for my
Yeah.
other one.
Well, those were selling like freaking
It's a tactic for
hotcakes
the
when they
holidays.
came out. You could sell them. How much did you sell them for?
I
Do you
sold them
remember?
for over 500.
But
Yeah.
we legitimately you could not get. I mean, that was a craze.
Yeah, I waited in line for a long time to get
I
that.
did too. 12 hours at Walmart
I mean,
outside.
I wouldn't be surprised if Wii U mostly sells out. I mean, just because supply, like, you got to be careful with launches, and like you're gonna sell like whatever 3 million, no matter what. I think, and it's hard to manufacture that many things in that short of time. So
Audrey, if you weren't almost guaranteed to be able to play this early, would you line up for the Wii U this time?
To go pick one up, based on what I know now, no.
Really?
Which is sad because honestly, this is the first system in a long time that I'm not really hyped about. I was really hyped about the Wii. I was excited to swing the Master Sword with the Wii Remote and all of that. But
So barring like some
this
amazing
one, I mean,
downloadable
I
game or
know
something?
this is assuming I didn't work at IGN, but I would get it eventually just because I will play the new Zelda and Metroid and
What about
all
if there's
of that
like an
that comes
awesome
out,
like
but-
achievement system or something? So like you have to be able to show off your skills on
I
your
just
own
mean,
system. You
like
know?
putting myself in my
I
shoes.
think that would sell me on it.
Putting myself in my shoes when I was in college and money was scarce. I don't think I would put down $300, $400 for the system at launch if a minigame collection is the best there is.
Mm-hmm.
I would wait.
I mean, I
but
think
this is their chance to convince us otherwise.
Yeah, but I'm still
You know?
open. I mean, maybe they've got something up their sleeves. I hope so.
They might have an achievement.
I mean, what are the?
And not to say
I
that
think they might.
not to say the system doesn't have a lot of potential. I think it does, but they need to show us what that is.
But what do we think the launch lineup is? Because that's really what you're getting at, I think.
Yes.
I mean, the
I-
hardware itself is kind of exciting, but we don't know what the online's like. Like, Sam, you don't know what the interactions with other Nintendo players are like.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's all
honestly-
unanswered.
Yeah,
but-
honestly, online isn't a huge deal for me. I'm not a big proponent of online multiplayer. Like, I want to access my
But
virtual
frame that
console
as,
games and all
think
that.
about it the
but-
way you drink Street Pass right now. Like, what if it's more like that? Like, what if it's like you're showing off how many coins you have in Mario Brothers, and like you can see, like we were just talking about this the other day, like how much better would New Super Mario Brothers 2 be if there was like a count on my map, which was like Fran got 465 coins here, you only have 200.
Well,
you
I
would
wish
just
it was.
obsess
I
over
wish it
that
was
and
like
do
in
it.
3D Land where you could like Street Pass with your friends and you'd see how many stars they had and how well they
And
were
even
doing.
street passing
things
is
like
annoying,
that.
right? So like, what if that was just constantly feeding, like giving you single player things to do?
Well, I'm
yeah,
looking
the way
forward
to do
to
it would be
hearing.
like, what's it called in Need for Speed? You show up
I know
on
what
the
you're talking
track.
about.
and it
Yeah,
goes, gosh, come on.
Ghosts?
guys. No, not Ghosts. It shows you the
Well,
other
just
person's
basic
time.
leaderboards are really good, and I think when you play a game like Pac-Man Championship Edition, like the whole office got into that.
Honestly,
and everybody was competing.
I'm really looking forward to them unveiling their approach to online. I'm sure it's going to be very Nintendo, and honestly, I'm probably one of the few people who's okay with that because I like a more hands-off approach
I know
to
you like
online
your single
and
player.
more
I do.
privacy, single player focused. But that's
Yeah.
just me. So we'll see.
I have
We'll
low
see what it is.
expectations on that, and they self-admittedly have said they've got a long way to go, and they even kind of said, well, we're not going to catch up with Sony and Microsoft. But I was like,
I don't think that they intend to. They're in a different race,
Yeah, but it's
honestly.
kind of- But you need a good online experience. But going back to my questions, launch titles. Like, what are we sort of expecting here? So we know we've got Mass Effect with the new DLC,
Mass Effect.
1080p. Okay.
Yeah, Assassin's
Batman,
Creed 3, Arkham
City,
City, Armored Edition.
Armored Edition.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
Rayman Legends.
Ninja
Rayman
Gaiden.
Legends.
Rayman
Yeah,
Legends.
Darksiders, I believe. Is that one?
I
of
think
those?
Darksiders
That is the
too.
launch title. You're
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Darksiders.
I'm getting a Wii U on day one just for Rayman Legends, and if anything good happens after that, we'll see. But that game
And that's
looks
a Wii
And this is what I'm getting
exclusive,
at. So Rayman
so
Legends
that's
could
pretty
be
good.
a seller. What else we've got?
Super Mario U. We don't know if that's launched
None of
today.
these are confirmed
That's
at all.
Windows.
by the
Yeah,
way.
none of these
I
are-
would
all
be-
windows.
I'd
We
be
know
really
Darksiders
surprised.
2 and a couple others are for sure launched.
I'd be really surprised to see
They've
New
said
Super Mario
anyway.
Brothers and,
Well,
and Rayman
So what about
at the
Wii
same
Fit?
time.
I
would,
don't know
yeah.
about Wii Fit, but the party. What the? I always.
How
forget
much
the
more
name.
could they?
What's the party game?
swear.
called?
Nintendo Land?
Game and
Yeah,
Wario.
Nintendo Land.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there's Game and Wario.
Game
but
and
I
Wario.
don't know.
Nintendo Land is a guaranteed launch title,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That's
that could
the
be a
only.
pack-in.
Yeah.
I think that's
Well,
the only
we don't know
first
that, but
party
that's
one we got.
speculation.
That's what I'm guessing.
Me
like,
too.
To me, like
How could
after
it not
seeing it,
be?
like because like if you had played Wii Sports by itself, you would have been like, this is fun.
Mm-hmm.
But as a pack-in, you're like, oh, this is great. I can just instantly start it up.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
funny because they
need
made
to.
them pay for it in Japan.
But what
Good.
Suckers.
just like their power cables.
Yeah.
If you don't know
Hey,
this,
they get everything good in the world.
Yeah.
Throw us a bone, come on.
the 3DS XL shipped in Japan without its power cable. They don't get a power cable.
But then they
You have
get
to
an
it
awesome
separately.
Pikachu XL,
power.
so
They
they
had
can't
the weirdest
complain.
reasoning on that too. Like the reasoning in Japan was something along the lines of like, people already own a 3DS, so they're
Yeah.
fine. And
Well,
you're
one
like,
of our video
wow.
guys
They
was
probably
in
know
Japan.
more than we do,
One of
right?
our video guys was in Japan, and he picked us up a Japanese XL before they launched, and he said that he had to buy a power cable, because they were so concerned about the fact that he wasn't getting one. They thought that he didn't understand that it wasn't
Oh,
included.
yeah,
They
yeah.
wouldn't let him leave the shop.
And they make lots of money off that cable, I bet.
Yeah,
Like,
oh,
I bet
I'm
that's like a
sure.
huge markup.
That might even be a bigger.
I have like tons of those cables around my house from like DSIs and
Yeah,
XLs
bring those in
and
because
all
they're
of
from the
that.
office and nobody has theirs anymore.
No, I don't bring mine in because they disappear from the
Um,
office. All the office ones are gone.
Yeah. So that brings up a very minor news bit, and that's that the 3DS XL launched. Now, it seems like old news for us because we've had them for a long time, but now everybody in the office is like stacking them up in their Street Pass
Yeah.
area. We have a little Street Pass area in our office, and
the daycare.
everybody's getting them, but I don't think anybody in this room bought one. Is that right?
I got
The
one at a
XL?
discount.
The
'cause
XL.
I got one.
I got
You
one.
did. I know Brian got one.
I got one for free.
Right.
so.
That doesn't
I
count.
bought one. I was able to get it a little off.
I would have
Okay.
bought one in a heartbeat if I didn't get one for free,
color
though.
did
That
you get,
thing's
Mike?
amazing.
Blue.
Blue. Okay. Well, so
Yeah, blue.
what she was
blue
just
for the
talking about,
win.
we have a white one in the office. It's like I can't resist like waiting for. I love the white one. It looks so good. Like
It looks good, but I just hate like waiting forever for like my color to come
I
out.
gotcha. Yeah. Are you and you have a 3DS?
I have a 3DS. I have the Zelda 3DS.
Yeah.
I had old 3DS that I had to turn into Nintendo when I quit Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
and then I bought
Aw.
a Zelda 3DS and I did a system transfer, so I only have a few left.
So it was like a cop's badge for you.
It was like a cop's badge. It was exactly like turn in your system, and I was like,
Be like, but my street passes, no.
And your gun was actually a zapper, right?
my gun was the Zapper. Yeah, so I have the Zelda 3DS.
Turn in your power glove, man.
It was hard giving up the Zelda 3DS.
Did you? Well, so you're not keeping that?
No, I'm keeping it, but I
Okay,
mean, it's hard to
fine.
like.
Yeah, I have
Hey, have
mine.
you
It's
played,
just it's just like dead. Its soul has been sucked out and transferred.
Have you played Kid Icarus on?
Yeah,
How does it look?
it looks great. It looks
He
great.
wrote Kid Icarus.
yeah,
dude.
he can't
No,
talk
on the-
all
on the
I'm
this.
XL.
asking on the
Bias.
XL. Yeah.
When I left Nintendo, I hadn't even heard of the XL, so I don't know when it was in planning or if it was just so
Miyamoto hadn't
secretive.
heard of it either.
Right.
We say that because literally, like the month before they announced the XL, we had spoken with Miyamoto at E3, and he said, "No, we're not going to do another iteration of the 3DS anytime soon. I think it's good the way it is."
He was lying on you.
He was scared, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it goes through a translator, so who knows his
Yeah, yeah.
exact wording,
right.
but
But what was I saying?
You were-
No, I have played Kid Icarus on it. It's amazing on it. I mean, what's weird is it's not that much heavier than the old 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
So holding it in your hand to do like the stylus controls isn't that bad. And I also use a really geeky thumbstick that I have like that straps to my thumb with a little bit of Velcro.
Nice.
And that actually
Okay.
makes it really fun to play.
So not the Metroid thumb strap.
not the
something
Metroid
else.
thumb strap, but similar to that.
Okay.
it's amazing what a difference it makes looking back at games like 3D Land or Ocarina of Time or Revelations, and it's just like you're seeing them again for the first time. They
Yes.
look so good on the big screen.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear
Just like totally takes over your
our,
field of
our
vision.
listeners' impressions because like we have barely gotten anything from feedback about this new system, and I want to know who's buying it and what they think it looks like. So please send those emails to nvc@ign.com.
And geniuses choose blue. Just saying.
Red just makes me feel like red is like the color that when you see kids playing Pokemon on the bus, like that's the color they have.
Badass kids.
It's weird that you say that because that's like my whole reason for not getting the colored one. I've talked about this on here, but like to make it short, like I don't want to look like I'm playing a toy as much as like a cool tech device, and I feel like the
Yeah.
colors make it look like I'm playing
do,
a toy.
yeah.
I'm not that self-conscious. It's just
Well,
like
I
hey,
want the
occurs to me.
Pikachu one, so I clearly don't care.
I think you can get away with that because you have your Pikachu hoodie, you have your Pikachu eyeliner,
My Batman
Right.
socks,
yeah,
yeah.
your Pikachu sunglasses.
I think I'm outed as a gamer already.
Right, if I-
gamer
if-
otaku.
If I, as an overweight man, play with my Pikachu 3DS on the bus, I'm just arrested. Like, I'm instantly put under arrest.
Exactly.
I used to work for Nintendo. Then why didn't they confiscate your Pikachu? 3DS, sir.
But I did want you guys skipped right by my Wii U launch question.
No,
so-
we answered it in
But
space.
what I was trying to get at is like what title. I was leading into what title are you excited
Oh.
to get at launch?
And we said none.
I mean, I'm being honest though.
You
Yeah,
know,
like, is there
I'm-
none?
I'm
Like,
actually-
Rayman
I
Legends,
mean-
Brian.
Yeah, Rayman Legends.
What is it? Project P100? That game? I don't think
3,000
that's
or is it
launched.
1,000?
Zombie U looks
1,000.
great.
That game looks amazing. Zombie U
It's
looks
totally
really
P100.
fun.
It's P100. It's P100.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
100?
I'm
Okay.
an idiot.
I demoed
Sorry,
that on IGN's live show.
That game's
I played that
really
game. It's really fun, actually.
That's platinum.
It's hard to say if that gameplay will extend over the full course of it, but like using the gestures or just the right stick to create like this Pikmin horde, but you create shapes like a sword or a hammer.
Yeah, I noticed nobody here has actually said Pikmin 3, so.
I played
Which is
Pikmin 3.
weird, I
That
love the
game's
last
really
two
fun.
Pikmin.
I'm excited
I
about
feel
that,
like no
actually.
one thinks about Pikmin, but Pikmin's an amazing series.
It really is.
Well,
yeah.
here's the problem though. They barely showed
It's very
anything
niche,
on it,
though.
and it was
Yeah.
very straightforward, the demo, so I think
It was Pikmin 2.
Well,
yeah,
they didn't
it was
let
like
you
the same
play
game.
with the gamepad.
and they wouldn't let you play it with the gamepad, which was
They like
hugely
smacked your
frustrating.
hand away.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm a little worried
just wasn't
about having
ready.
Pikmin appear on my person. I think that's very strange. Like in the in the press conference, they kept on appearing on people in the audience. It was really
Yeah.
They
scary.
seem to
yeah.
enjoy it.
Like I
forgot
can't
about
imagine
that.
like just sitting on my couch and there's a Pikmin. Oh, I don't know.
It is
you can
scary.
make them do stuff or kill them for joy.
You can make them do stuff.
Jeez, Audrey. Dark side.
You've played the game.
I know
True.
it probably.
You put it in the wild. Like,
So what about New Super Mario U? I think that game looks fantastic. I can't wait to play it. I was already on Mario Burnout when I hit New Super Mario Bros. 2, and that's all I'm playing. That's
you know
all
what?
I
Yeah,
play.
we
I love it.
totally
No,
skipped
you
by
look
mentioning
even
that,
more
by the way.
creative too, like the Van Gogh type level.
Yeah, and if you want to
That's
see
cool.
New Super Mario Bros. 2 in action, you can watch our last episode of Nintendo Video Chat. Actually, we did a really good really good playthrough of that. I think Audrey showed a lot of talent while playing it. A
I
lot
don't know
of
about
talent.
that.
And I think that's
Playing a 2D platformer.
So that's what I was trying to get at. Is I think the collective in the room. There's not that like one title that we're like, oh man, like Metroid Prime 4 or
Right.
this game that
Brian's
like,
looking
whatever
so
it is.
frustrated.
There's
I'm
not
so
this
mad.
huge exclusive, like pretty, amazing launch show
This
that
is
for
capturing
us
how we
as
all
a
played it when we were younger, Brian.
as a core gamer feel that way.
I think they're thinking Pikmin is that, but
But I mean,
it's
was
not.
there
It's
that
not.
for the 3DS at launch? Because
No.
I feel like the 3DS at launch didn't have like it had games where you're like, oh,
what was the
those
big
three
3DS
Steel
launch?
Diver. No.
Steel.
that's the problem. No, 3DS.
Yeah, Street Fighter, but I don't know.
No, 3DS was Ocarina of Time.
But
Yeah,
that
that
wasn't
came
a
out
launch
in
title.
June.
That was June.
Yeah.
It was like a
little
month
after,
later,
it was
right?
late.
Yeah.
But yeah, you knew it was coming though. So
Yeah,
that was the thing.
there was the promise. of
and right, so
Zelda,
that's our problem right
Mario,
now. I think that-
Resident Evil.
There's good launch titles potentially coming up. I mean, I actually will. I want to play Mass Effect on it. I want to play Batman on it. I just never got to finish those. Yeah.
I'm always looking for an excuse to
But,
replay Batman.
but hey, New Super Mario Brothers Wii U. Is that what it's called actually?
No,
New Super Mario Bros. U.
U.
Yeah.
Oh, they take out the Wii.
Well, I think they've got some
That's
fun-looking
good.
titles.
Yeah, Pikmin
but
3 is going to be good. Like, so there's good stuff
Well,
there.
the Wii U game's actually, or the Wii
Yeah.
U Fit game is actually really fun. I wouldn't buy a system
Yeah.
just for Wii U Fit,
So they-
but I had a ton of fun playing it.
So I guess my point is, it's even though we're not super excited, there is a lot of good stuff, and
Yeah.
again, I think they're not going to have problems selling. It's just that getting us excited and going back to this
And
press
this
event,
is-
they just need something.
I mean,
like,
this is coming from somewhat jaded gamers who remember
Yes.
getting Mario with their system
Yes.
way back in the day.
Yeah.
So, like, modern launches, they just aren't what they used to be. They never will be. Systems are so powerful these days, they're just never going to have really amazing software ready for launch anymore.
yeah.
So, it's just something we have to deal with
Well,
for
it's almost
system
like
launches.
It's almost like this weird inverse. Like the 64 launched with what, 2 titles? Mario 64 and Pilot Wings.
Yeah.
But then those were 2 amazing exclusive
Star Wars
games.
wasn't there?
Not for a
Shadows
couple
of
Star
weeks.
Wars was like launch window, but
Okay.
it wasn't launch day.
Like they could have just never released anything else, and you would still have Mario 64, which
Right.
is like it's
Yeah, like
was-
one of the
that was
best games
amazing.
ever made.
monumental.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, for this launch, you're going to have like 5 of the most hotly anticipated games of the year. Some of them kind of late, but it's still not an exclusive, so it doesn't feel as like exciting. Like you
Yeah.
have Mass Effect 3 and Batman Arkham City and Assassin's
I think
Creed 3,
there are
which amazing
probably a lot of
games.
people who only had the Wii,
Right.
and like we have all the systems, but a lot of people maybe they were waiting to see those come to Wii U so they could play them. So maybe it's more exciting for other people.
That makes me sad.
I hate DuckTales.
Brian is just
I
shaking
hate
his
this.
head
I
all the time.
hate this game.
Brian,
Wait,
I'd
can I
switch
try
with you,
playing
Love
but
it, Brian.
maybe you should have Fran switch with you.
Yeah, does that reach over here? We'll try in the background. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Sure. Well, I wanted to go into a little segment about an upcoming Disney game that Audrey's played.
Oh yes, Power of Illusion.
Yes,
That
there's
I'm
game's
still
so
sitting in my seat
good.
and playing.
and
I'm
the reason we're talking about it is because there's a full-on 2D amazing Disney game coming out, and like
Yeah,
on the
speaking of
NES, there was
DuckTales.
lots of 2D Disney games like DuckTales.
Yeah, and I've played it. I wrote a preview of it, which hopefully you read, because otherwise, what am I even doing? But yeah, it's
Fatalistic.
really good. It really harkens back to the old like NES, Genesis, SNES days of Disney games. Just solid platforming, focuses on gameplay. It's just really cool. Just really
and jump.
fun.
So
can
I'm
you-
really excited.
Can you? Does it seem like it's going to be like DuckTales, or can you compare it to a different? Is it more like those old Mickey games?
Oops.
Yeah, I mean, it's a follow-up to Castle of Illusion.
First of all, is it like a Metroidvania game? Is it like exploration based, or is it?
It is exploration based, but it's a little different. I mean, there's the platforming, and you go through the levels. Basically, there's sort of a beginning and an end. You try and find the Disney characters to unlock them, and it's a long story. But
So,
anyway,
I'm having you explain
there are
this.
also some cool brush mechanics from Epic Mickey
Oh,
that
really?
they're bringing over.
the
Yeah,
DS.
I really like the way they're using it with the stylus. Is if you come across certain areas that you can tap the touch screen and you can like either erase or draw in things. So like this is the example that they always use, but there are cannons you come across, and if you draw it in correctly, then it'll shoot your enemies for you. But if you draw it like really poorly, you have a limited time to draw it, then it'll actually start attacking you. And you can move blocks around to get secrets, and it's just really, really clever use of the
I just
paint
wanna say
and
that
thinner
Fran-
mechanic.
Fran, you were so
I have
much
not played
worse
this in forever.
at DuckTales than I am.
That was why I wanted to make you look at. Okay, I'm getting used to this.
But yeah,
hold- yeah, you
that's
can
one of my
just
most
keep
anticipated
hopping.
titles of the year, Sam. I'm
When's
really
it come
looking
out?
forward
Oh,
to
I
it.
thought I had to keep.
When's
hitting
it come out?
That comes out. God, let me Google really quickly.
Well, so
It's the same day as Epic Mickey too.
listen, this is all
November?
tied together with DuckTales really well because there is so Warren Spector's working on Epic Mickey, right?
Yeah.
And this is kind of a tie-in to Epic Mickey, this 2D Mickey game.
It is. It's sort of tying the Castle of Illusion world with
All right.
the Epic Mickey universe. So
Now
it
let
starts
me-
out in Wasteland. It has Oswald.
This
No,
controller's
no.
broken.
No,
No.
you're broken.
No.
Oh, you can't hit the top of the screen.
Burn.
Now let me
You can.
guys, let me
Sorry.
6 degrees of separation to
November
this
28th. That's the
because there's a
one.
Warren
November 18th. I'm sorry.
We got it. Okay.
Yep.
There's a Warren Spector made video game out right now. Epic Mickey's working on another one. This is a Mickey game. Warren Spector wants to make a DuckTales game.
He does that. He told me this at E3. I asked him. I said the most important question that you will ever be asked.
Right,
Where's my new DuckTales game?
And I have a quote from him that says, "A day does not go by where I don't tell somebody at Disney, Uncle Scrooge, come on, Donald, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, come on, let me do a duck game."
Yeah, he said apparently the higher-ups don't want him to make one. They don't think that there's enough interest in it. He's wrong.
But-
Start writing letters, people.
Well, and check out what he did. He
Where's Operation Rainfall? Where's Operation Duckfall?
This is really good. I like it. Operation Duckfall.
Brian, how do I get in here?
He's actually
Just jump into
he's
it.
working on,
can't jump off
or
the
he's written a
Just
couple
let
DuckTales
go.
comic books.
Just
Yeah,
let go
I've heard
of
that.
it.
Yeah,
Let go of
I didn't
everything.
know that.
Pretty neat, huh?
It's definitely new.
Just jump in.
This is sorry, guys. Like,
Okay,
I-
if you use the cane, you can hop up.
Can you just give the controller back to
Yes.
Brian?
Yeah,
Playing
let's
forever.
let's hand it back
the
to Brian
fundamental
very
game
slowly and
mechanics
carefully.
here.
Yeah, look
Do
at
you guys
that.
want to hear the saddest
I saved
DuckTales
his-
NES story
his
ever?
arse.
Yes.
Yes, please.
About
Sorry.
a year and a half ago, I broke up with like the best girl I'd ever dated. Up to that point, and I
It's
was so
already
sad.
sad.
I replaced my screen with the moon level from DuckTales, and people be like, "Oh, you do DuckTales? I love that!" And I was like, "It replaced her." It was the saddest time of my life. But I immediately went to DuckTales on the NES.
Yes.
So for those of you at home, M. Drucker.
When I used to be good at video games, including this one, DuckTales was one of my like comfort foods. Like I would
Oh, I
have
love
a
it.
crappy day at school and I'd come home and I'd beat DuckTales in like a half an hour.
It's
now
one
I
of the
can't even
best
beat a
games of
single
all
level,
time.
so I feel good.
Terrible
Yeah,
sequel.
it's like
I'm
when
just
you,
gonna go home and drink.
Have you guys ever played DuckTales 2?
No.
No.
It's really bad. Like
Really?
it has the same gameplay mechanic, but the levels are just really boring.
Yeah.
They're just not interesting. There's a cool map screen and stuff, and it's just not the same.
You know, I beat this 3 times in a row one day,
No, you didn't.
but that was like 15 years
I
ago.
absolutely do not believe
I
you.
absolutely did.
You played this the way my mom played video games.
Fran was doing so terribly, I had to steal the controller back, put it in the hands of a
he
semi-competent
cried a
player.
little, but he's okay now.
Yeah.
And now you're going to
It's
meet
a bit of a
Magic of the
technical
Spell for the
failure.
second time, right? I
we'll
hope.
try.
Okay. So for the final little bit of DuckTales celebration here, I have some little-known DuckTales facts.
God
It's mainly about this game. Starting out with a little bit of, some localization facts, including that the coffins used to have crosses on them. But this is part of Nintendo's famed censorship campaign, or infamed, I
Yeah.
guess it would be. So Nintendo would take out religious references as much as possible. They were taken out of Dracula's Curse, Castlevania 3, and a bunch of stuff like that. So that's not as interesting as this next one, though, that the cakes were hamburgers.
What?
Yeah, that's right. Why would they make that change?
Yeah, why did they change that?
Oh, we can't have ducks eating hamburgers.
That just makes no sense, friend.
No, I don't really know why.
That's probably a
It's really
Disney
weird.
thing, though, right?
I don't know.
Or it's
I
just
think
some weird
weird
aesthetic choice.
See,
where they're like, I don't
Warner
like how the
actually
hamburgers
owns hamburgers,
Look. Like, it's
so-
with some,
Maybe the hamburger clearly had an egg on it, like it does in Burger Time, and it would just throw off people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
possible.
ducks can't eat their own youth.
Yeah. There we go. We got to the bottom of it. All right.
Maybe.
Mystery solved. But here's a mystery we'll never solve. The DuckTales caper of 1990.
What?
Okay, you ready for this? This is
yeah.
I'm gonna
Sam's
read you a
lit
newspaper
up right
clipping. All right, this is really
Oh,
great.
wait. Okay, I'm ready. Go.
Okay, a $2.5 million shipment of a hot Nintendo video game called DuckTales was carted away from the port of Oakland, local boys, but police are unsure whether the thieves knew what they were taking. The 50,000 videotapes were packed in a 40-foot container that had been placed in a busy loading dock area. The thieves apparently had their own truck, just came by and loaded the container and took off. We have never gotten to the bottom of this.
So 50,000 copies of DuckTales?
40-foot container.
They go swimming through it like
maybe
Scrooge
they found them,
McDuck.
but I don't know. I
So
want to find
they
them.
probably were just sold, on the different market.
Or they went swimming through it like Scrooge McDuck. Have an imagination, friend.
That
Exactly.
must have been.
It was the Beagle
diving
Boys.
in and out of it?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I
Yes.
saw the cartoons.
Dock workers remarked it was a duck blur. I
What?
didn't see what happened.
They actually said
No,
that.
I wrote that.
Oh, God.
Oh, you
I'm
ruined
sorry.
it.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing either way.
Well, they had their own truck. Did they have race cars, lasers, and airplanes? I could just go on all day.
Don't.
Another
If we
fun
solve this
fact.
mystery, we could rewrite history.
If
Keiji
you-
Inafune did the art for this game, didn't
Are
If
he?
you
listening.
stole 50,000 copies of DuckTales,
Please
tell us in the
let
comments.
us know. We're gonna bring.
Turn
We'll bring you in.
yourself
No,
in.
but we'll bring you in anonymously, and we'll we'll do that.
Friend, it's not
The,
gonna
the
happen.
cops could not be
Not-
looking for
Robotic
something
voice.
like. Listen, if there's anything the Oakland police are concerned about,
It's nothing.
DuckTales is not one of them.
I want justice.
It's
Mike.
not the 50,000
It's not
pounds of
about them.
DuckTales they're looking for, Fran.
Do you know what other crimes have been committed in Oakland since that? A lot of murder, all of them.
In Oakland?
And where do you think it all started? If we could just get to the root of the problem.
Yeah,
They
you know
didn't
what
get their
happens?
DuckTales. That's what happens.
Yeah, DuckTales was removed from society, and this is what happens.
Yeah. You need to set an example
So,
for thieves today.
I fully expected Brian Altano to beat DuckTales
Nope.
today. So
Brian
instead,
Altano didn't even beat like 2 levels in DuckTales today.
because he didn't, we're going to end up in this podcast with a little description of what happens if he had beat the game. And now, this is maybe a little known, but there's 2 alternate endings to this game.
Brian,
One is
play
a happy
something.
ending, one is a sad ending, and one is just the normal ending. So if you get both treasures and you get $10 million in the bank, then it shows a newspaper where Scrooge McDuck has a crown, which is weird. And it says he's stunned the world with his discovery of 2 lost treasures. But here's the best thing. There's another alternate ending where you have to play the game just like Metroid and get $0 the whole game. So you have to carefully not collect.
What?
What?
Yeah. All right.
What is this nonsense?
Well, that'd be easy for me.
yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah,
Brian would
he
be awesome
has it
with
right
that.
now.
Can you? Is there
He's
an
on a
ending for when you don't
$0
use
run.
your cane the whole time? Because Frank could do that.
So to do this, you have to, it's really difficult. And in the end, Scrooge is crying. And there's a newspaper that says he has lost his fortune in his search for the legendary 5 treasures. He will use them to rebuild his empire.
Oh, that's nice. That's
remember
still
that,
not bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, he will
that's
use them to-
terrible. It's
Right.
like letting the moon hit and
Man,
Termina and
spoilers.
Majora's Mask.
I don't know.
Like letting the moon hit Termina.
It kind of it makes me feel like McDuck is planning some kind of like
Money's his
dictatorial
everything, Sam.
regime.
I just realized that the game sound has been gone for quite some time. That's why it sounded so weird. When we handed it back to Brian, I screwed up a number of things, and the game sound is messed up. So I apologize
Yeah, that's fine.
for just being alive.
Maybe we can.
No.
Every podcast now, I've
That's
just...
not your fault, friend.
Yeah. Well, it's
No.
my
Did you see
parents'
that
fault.
robot duck just crap out an ice cream cone?
No.
That was really great. I need
Did
an
it come on
animated GIF of that. It was really good.
Okay, well, this was our single most successful video podcast ever, I think,
I think
Sam.
so.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Technically, from a technical standpoint, I think it was.
Yeah.
Content
gosh.
though, totally different story.
Yeah, you guys can still request games from us. We have some cool plans coming up.
Oh, and be sure to
won't
tell
spoil
us
them.
how much we suck at gaming and how much better you would do if you were doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We know that
It's kind of
love
sad
that.
because I did pick up this game yesterday to test out, whether my old cart's working and whatnot, and I beat Transylvania and the African Mines.
We should have
So
let Sam
should
play,
let
but
me
he had
play.
to carry the show.
Yeah, maybe when Rich gets back, I can start playing games again.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm sitting right here, you guys.
Hey, Brian.
Hi.
Good job.
Thanks, Audrey.
do.
Yeah, this sounds so bad without the sound.
So let's tell everybody what our Twitter feeds are. And before that, I'm going to say, again, you can write us at nvc@ign.com. And Fran, what's your Twitter feed?
Fran Mirabella, just like it sounds.
You're so lucky.
I know.
Agent Bizzle, Agentbizzle.
That's Brian Altano.
Listen to my podcast, The Comedy Button.
I'm Game on Aminka, AMINKA.
I'm Samuel_IGN.
I am Mike Drucker, MIKEDRUCKER.
Yeah,
Boom.
but what's your
I didn't
Twitter,
spell
man?
That's my Twitter. That is my Twitter. I spelled my name! Ice cream!
What's your phone number now?
All right, guys.
Ladies.
Thanks for watching us fail at DuckTales, and we had fun.
Duck
Later,
fails.
Googlings. Nice. That made up for everything.